NOTME San Diego is changing the narrative around women and guns. Program Director Desi Bergman is in studio. Up next.
But first, if you have legal matters that involve firearms, then you need to call California firearms lawyer John Dillon. If you have questions about red flag laws, gun registration, gun transportation, or maybe you just need to know that your guns are California compliant, call our trusted firearms attorney John Dillon. John Dillon specializes in California gun laws, 760-642-7150, or you can visit his website at dillonlawgp.com. All right, Desi Bergman is in the house. How you doing, kid?
I'm good. How are you?
You've been staying busy?
Busy. That's an understatement.
I know. Just keep putting it on the plate, and it just keeps getting taller and taller.
You can thank Mike for that over there.
I know.
Well, you got a lot to do. We're trying to change the world here.
Well, I noticed that, and you're doing one heck of a job at it, I might add.
Well, not just me. She's doing a fantastic job at it.
You are a great delegator.
He likes to delegate
I'm the great
everything to me
delegator.
You're the
now.
great delegator. You need a T-shirt. I'm the great delegator. But you love it.
I'll get
I do
somebody to
love
make
it.
that T-shirt for me.
Yeah, I know. But, I mean, you loved it when you first got into, Not Me.
Yeah, it's been about 2.5 years since I've been with the program now.
How many girls have you ran through the program?
So we have roughly 700 applicants at this point. I know. The number's grown since you and I talked
Whoa,
last day.
that's 100 since the last time we talked.
I know.
If
I
not-
mean, we keep bringing them in and we keep helping them. And out of that 700, we roughly graduated about 675. So we're doing really good.
And how many are still with you? I have to warn everybody, if you get anywhere near Desi and Not Me SD, you might be a mentor
Well,
or ambassador.
It's an ambassador, right? So we love when our girls come through the program and then they come back and they want to give back because of their experience.
Sure.
So that's when they turn around to become an ambassador because they understand like what we did for them. So now they want to do the same for other women.
And you actually need that because as the program gets bigger and bigger and bigger, you need more and more ambassadors.
I do need more and more ambassadors because the last thing I want to do is get my ambassadors overwhelmed with too many women to help.
Exactly, or
Yeah.
have to turn anybody away.
Well, we would never turn anybody away.
Well, I know you say that, but the pressure of turning somebody away is not in your vocabulary.
No, it's not. We're always going to help anybody that comes to us looking for help.
Yeah, that is so cool.
Yep.
So what are the percentages of people that go through the program that end up coming back as an ambassador, would you say?
They're not as high as I would hope, but I would say on my team of about 15 ambassadors right now, I would say about 5 of them have come back through.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a pretty good number.
Do you call them back up and say, hey, we need your help?
I do.
All right.
I might guilt trip them into it. How
I
Mike
know.
guilt trips me into everything. I do that to my girls too.
That's where you learned it
I
from.
did. I learned it all from Mike. I learned my tricks from him.
That's amazing.
The cool thing about the program, I think the thing that makes the messaging of the program so successful is this isn't a hobby. You know what I mean? This isn't a sport league. This isn't a, hey, come have fun. I find that most people in San Diego, and especially a lot of women in San Diego, plate's full. There's a lot going on. They have family and job and all kinds of stuff going on. This is very, very, this program, Not Me, is very purpose driven. It's, hey, we're going to teach you and how to get the tools and how to use the tools that could possibly defend
Save your life.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
I think that message, I think that resonates. That kind of makes, I think that if it were another hobby, I think that it would, there'd be, well, I don't know, let me see, maybe hem ha.
Right.
But when it's like, hey, look, we're gonna help you save yourself, it really turns into a priority. You can almost see the decision,
Sure.
in their head, like, yeah, you know what, I got to do this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put time aside. I'm gonna do this. Then I'm gonna move on with life.
Right.
And
Exactly.
take this with me.
And the reward is huge on the other side.
Well, I
once you
mean,
get through it.
empowerment for women is something you can't take away, right? And
Right.
so that's one thing that I love about what we do is we make an effect on these women that will stay with them for the rest of their life. So if you can help them take back their safety, I mean, think about how empowered you are when you can feel that you can take your safety into your own hands. I mean, that will stay with them forever.
Yeah.
And so we make such a difference in so many women's lives. And, the program is definitely centered around, we want to help women that have been victims of domestic violence and sexual assault. Like that is our main demographic that we want to go after.
Right.
But the program has really evolved into a great resource for women who are just looking for answers and for help.
Well, they want to be proactive.
They do
not
want to be
reactive.
proactive. Yep. So,
And one thing with all of the insanity that's going on out on the country,
yep.
and you're starting to see more situations, and it's so funny too. Ever since I've gotten involved with you and the group, like when I leave the house, I live in Alpine, and I'm driving down the hill, and I see a single girl walking down the side of the road. First thing that pops into my head is, I wonder if she could, protect herself. And I don't know why, but until I met you, I never thought that. Well, I mean, because you never know. Somebody could pull over, try to grab her, drag her in the car, that kind of mentality.
Right.
And hopefully it'd be nice someday you never have that thought again.
Well, unfortunately, the way the world is going right now, that's more common,
Yeah.
right? I mean, and I wrote an article about a month or two ago where we talked about the 40-minute response time for a priority one call from a police. 40 minutes, Dave.
I was going to say, I thought it was longer than that.
No, it's 40 minutes right now. So think about what can happen in 40 minutes.
Terrible.
I mean, a lot can happen. And so
Everything.
Everything
Can happen. Everything bad you can think of in your head can happen in 40 minutes.
Absolutely.
So we used to be able to count on the police to maybe help us, but now they're just going to come write a police report and hopefully draw an outline of a body that's on the floor that's not mine, because I can protect myself.
No,
but
you can.
these are feelings that we want women to have, is that if something were to happen to them, that they could protect themselves. And a lot of women come to us because they don't know where else to go, right?
No.
Like, think about when you walk into a gun shop and you see the people behind the counter. 9 out of 10, it's men, right? And sometimes that can be very intimidating. And if someone has a bad experience just one time when they walk into a gun shop or into a gun range,
They're done.
They're done. They're never going to go back. And so the great thing about the program, and this is not just a pamphlet, Dave, you know that. Like, this is a one-on-one, hands-on experience that we have that, ambassadors like Alicia is on my team, right? She helps me out. Like, you get paired with a mentor, and we are there to help you every step of the way. So we're a resource to make sure that you get the answers and the help that you're looking for. So we will help you pick out a firearm, right? So, and there's a lot of things that factor into that. Grip, like, how big do you want the gun to be? What are you looking for? So there's a lot of things to consider when you're purchasing a firearm for the first time. And one thing that we always try to direct all of our new applicants to is one of our shooting socials, right? So that's where they get paired with a one-on-one, mentor, and they're going to walk them through the basics of how do I stand? How do I shoot, right? And we always stress, shoot the gun before you buy it, because the last thing you want to do is buy it and then not like it, right?
Well, drive it. Don't buy a car unless you've driven it.
Exactly. And so we also help them get training. So we have a lot of resources out there, right? Like, we don't do it ourselves, even though I would say half my team of ambassadors are NRA instructors, but we want to send that business to the ranges and to all the private instructors are out there, right? Because that's the great relationship that we have, is we want to help them with that. And then I personally will teach these ladies how to get their CCW. So we do a virtual seminar every 6 weeks where I walk them step by step through the process on how to get their CCW. And so these are what we specialize in. And we are just trying to get the word out there that, if there's someone out there that needs help, right? Like, we're here and we want to help you get the answers that you're looking for.
And people are still in the dark when it comes to CCW. Not just women, but
people still
men
think
too.
that you have to write a good cost statement.
I just had that same conversation this weekend.
Yep.
And I said, no. You don't need to do that anymore.
Not anymore.
And I send them to, San Diego County Gun Owners website.
Yep.
I says, because I'm not going to sit there and try, tell them everything. I just go to the website. Everything is right there. They'll explain it to you. Yeah, but no, you're not listening.
Yeah, we're gonna have a new video up too in about a week or two with on how to get your CCW. That's got all the updated information.
Yeah.
So
very good.
We'll announce that. One of the ways I knew that this program was going to be successful.
It's because of me, right?
Because of Desi? No. Well, absolutely. She's definitely made it successful. But before we launched it, I knew there was a need back before San Diego County Gun Owners. I still do, but I used to carry pepper spray with me all the time.
And didn't you used to give it out?
Yeah. And I would put it on the table. I'd take it out of my pocket and put it on the table when I was
Go to a restaurant?
When I was at a restaurant. And I swear 9 out of 10 times the waitress would ask about it, and I'd make some stupid joke and that would start a conversation.
It's for my bacon and eggs.
Yeah, it's in case I have a salad emergency, or whatever. And that would start a conversation. And a lot of the time, maybe, I don't know, I'm going to say half the time, quarter of the time, I'd say, you know what, just take this bottle. Just take this bottle and I'll go buy more.
Right.
So I knew that need was there. It's not quite the same thing, but I knew that need was there.
Well, that's only because
interest.
Denny's doesn't do spaghetti anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Otherwise, you'd still be passing it out.
I would be spraying in protest.
But no, all kidding aside, I mean, every time I talk to somebody about the program, their eyes kind of light up.
They light up, right?
It's like, really? Really? I got to get some of your business cards so I can pass them out to people.
There you go.
Dave, do you remember how much the program is, too?
Yeah, it's more than I can afford.
It's free.
That's what I said. It's more than I can afford. Of course, I live in the world.
I mean,
of
we
free.
want to make it affordable for women that are looking for help, right? And that's why we did it for free. So we have great support with the organizations behind us. You know, we have the original pack that was started in San Diego, and we do have a footprint now in Orange County and Inland Empire, which is great. So we're going to be taking what we've learned and built here in San Diego and replicating that in the other 2 counties, which is great. So, you know, we're here and we're ready to help. We just have to get the word out there.
So let me ask you this, because I'm sure there's a lot of women listening to this program as we speak. If they haven't been through the program, can they still be a mentor or an ambassador?
So they can. So we're always looking for...
But you'd rather have them go through the program.
Not necessarily. No? And you don't even have to be a completely knowledgeable gun owner to be a part of the program. So we look for 2 parts of this. We either look for the ladies that want to come to us and looking for help, right? Like they're looking for answers. How do I get a firearm? But on the other side, we're looking for individuals like Alicia who want to help, and they're the ones that make the program successful, right? Because they're the ones reaching out to these ladies on a daily, a weekly basis and helping guide them through the program. So our program is not successful without our ambassadors that are there to kind of like in the trenches. And, you know, I'm definitely there behind the scenes, like doing a lot of the work, and then I handle the special, unique ones that come through to us, and I love those ones. You know what I'm talking about, Alicia.
Oh, we got to have this conversation off air.
That's an off-air conversation. Mike, you know about this one too. But it's not possible without these ladies, right? And
well, that's why I was saying, as much as you need ambassadors, would you accept a young lady that, you know, maybe has some gun knowledge or doesn't have gun knowledge, but has the desire to help?
Of course.
'Cause you can always train.
I can always train them, correct.
Right. And one of the things that you mentioned that I really want to emphasize, because there's always a little bit of confusion, is the ambassadors aren't, and she talked about this, they're not doing the gun training.
Right.
So they're not saying, hey, I'm going to show you, I'm your instructor.
I'm not your instructor.
They help, they assess what they need. Like, oh, okay, you're brand new, so we need to get you some basic classes. We need to figure out.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, we need to figure out, okay, well, what kind of gun are you going to eventually buy? You know, you need to be able to try a couple different guns, and then eventually I'm going to show you how to get your CCW. So they're kind of the concierge. You know, that's why we call them ambassadors, not instructors.
Right.
Yep.
They take them by the hand and say, hey, you know what? We're going to go through this together.
Because otherwise,
get you all the information.
they don't know how to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So the ambassadors don't have to be certified instructors. They don't have to be gun experts.
They're there as a resource to help these ladies through the program.
Gotcha.
And when the ambassadors don't know an answer, they come to me. If I don't know the answer, I go to Mike. If Mike doesn't know the answer, then we don't know the answer. Yeah.
We'll go to your nephew.
Yeah.
Sam would always know the answer,
Sam
right?
the gun man definitely will know the answer. Oh, my goodness. Orange County Gun Owners is dedicated to preserving and restoring Orange County gun rights. OCGO has developed a strong permanent infrastructure that focuses on changing the face of gun ownership by getting volunteers involved in local levels of activism and outreach. We have made a profound influence and advancement on policies protecting the Second Amendment throughout all of Orange County. If you live in Orange County and you want to help defend and restore the Second Amendment, you need to join ocgunowners.com/join. Volunteer at a shooting social, at a gun shop, a tabletop, and help more pro-gun local officials get elected. Become a member today. ocgunowners.com/join. All right, back with Desi.
Hi, Dave.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Now I look at you as a scuba diver. Used to look at you as a gun instructor. Now you're a scuba diver.
Scuba Desi.
I'm both now.
What color's your wetsuit?
What color do you think it is?
Pink.
No, it's teal.
Oh, I bet
Yes.
you look stunning. I've never seen a teal wetsuit.
Well, it's gray and teal, but like all of my fins are teal, my mask is teal.
Well, of course it is.
Of course it is. My instructor kept calling me her teal fish. She said, "Where's my teal fish?" And so I was her teal fish, and it was super awesome.
I know. Now you just got to repaint your car.
No, we're not going to paint my car teal. That's too much. I like my blue car.
You like your blue car?
I
Well, it's
do.
close. Looks like water.
Yes, exactly.
All right. So you have a call-in guest?
I do. I have Sasha. Sasha, are you there?
I hope so. Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you. I
Hi.
think this is actually my second time on Gun Owners
Yes,
Radio.
Sasha has been with us
Yeah.
before.
I know. So are you a scuba diver too?
Oh, no.
No, that's not for Sasha. We've talked about this.
There's sharks down there.
Yeah, I'm girl out to my own heart. No, I'm right there with you.
So Sasha, you've been with me for how long as an ambassador? It's been a couple of years, right?
I was going to say, I think I'm in my second or third year at least.
Exactly. So she's been with
I've
me.
I've had my CCW for 4 years, almost 5 years.
So you've been with me since the beginning, since I took over.
Yes.
Wow.
And how did you find out about the NOTMESD program, and how did I recruit you?
Well, through San Diego County Gun Owners, my husband and I used that resource to get our CCWs. As soon as we became citizens in October of 2016. Yeah, my husband's from Brazil. I'm from Canada and England. And we couldn't have guns, obviously, in Canada or England. And Brazil, we could have guns. He could. He actually had a federal permit to carry, which was cool because he could go on planes and stuff with them. But I didn't have the justification to be able to own a gun, so I couldn't have one. So as soon as we moved here, and we actually waited until we became citizens because we were just worried that, we put a target on our back and they might say no. So we waited, and as soon as we did the ceremony, I think the next day my husband had his paperwork and made the appointment at the sheriff's department for our CCW. And at that time, I think it was about a 9-month waiting period.
Seems about right.
Yeah. So we did our CCWs, and I went to a couple of events through San Diego County Gun Owners, and I think that's how we first met.
That was how we first met. It's been about 2 years that we've been together now.
Wow.
And Sasha, what do you like about being a part of the program? Like, why do you want to do this, and why do you like helping?
Honestly, because I had to. And I say that really meaning that, because I was so reliant on my husband to do all the dirty work for me. And because he enjoys it, right? He loves his weapons. And so it was a pleasure for him to clean my gun. It's a pleasure for him to do this, do that, organize my gun case. I mean, he is helping and always wants to help. But I got to a point where I thought, if I'm going to carry a CCW, I need to be so proficient with not just being able to shoot a gun, but with all aspects of gun ownership.
All right,
And
you need to introduce your husband to Mike.
Yeah,
because he doesn't like to clean his gun. He doesn't like to organize his carrier.
It sounds like your husband and I would be a great couple.
Yeah, you guys would make
oh my gosh,
stunning.
I mean, my goal is to replace his income one day so he can stay home and be a gunsmith or something like that. Because that's how much he loves. He's an engineer at heart. So, but I relied on that, and then you kind of become useless, to be honest. You don't learn the skills that you need to be able to handle a weapon properly. And I was actually terrified to be an ambassador at first, because I thought, I don't know enough. I just don't know enough. I'm not an expert. I'm not an instructor. I can shoot well. Obviously, I got my CCW. But I was very, very, I think I was more scared than the mentees, to be honest, the first time I did it.
But we got through it together, though.
We did. And it was it was empowering for me to be able to do that. And then to witness what I was doing for other women, then that just became kind of just so incredibly profound. But I just wanted to do it again and again and again, because I actually realized I was changing these women's lives.
Right, and that's 100%. What we do. We change lives.
100%.
Now, Sasha, I know you've helped a lot of women through the program at this point, but is there someone that sticks out that in your heart you say, yeah, I really helped her, that you want to talk about?
Yes, there's two. There's, I call them my gun-toting grannies.
I love it.
They are usually older women, 60 and older, that live on their own, and they've been around the block or two, shall we say. They understand that they are on their own when it comes to their own personal safety. They understand the world has unfortunately changed for the worse in terms of reliance on even, never mind just the police, but even neighbors and passersby. And, people will stop and film you on their phone before they'll step in to interfere, And so this one, not elderly, but just, senior lady came, and because her car, she knew there was some activity in the area that she wasn't comfortable with. And her car, I think some stuff her house had been vandalized, and then her car had been ransacked. And she just was like, she said my house is going to be next. They're just kind of testing the boundaries. First the house, then the car. I'm here on my own. I don't know what to do. And she never thought she'd pick up a gun in her life, and came out of that one shooting social, putting every single bullet right in the body as a body shot, and
Love it.
A massive smile on her face. And, we just walked through her buying her first gun, and everything that entailed.
That's awesome. I love that. And one thing I love about going to the shooting socials, and Sasha, you mentor a lot too, is when you see that fear in these ladies that come through the program. Like the first time they pull the trigger, you see them jump, you see them scared, but then towards the end of it, you'll see them a lot more relaxed and having fun. And especially when they're getting those good shots, right? Like you see them start to get really, really excited. And I always love watching it change from, oh my gosh, I'm so scared, to this is fun, right? I love seeing that. And, we have seen an increase of kind of like senior ladies coming through our program, right? Because to Sasha's point, they are by themselves and they understand that the world isn't what it was, a few years ago. And so they want to protect themselves. And, you're never too old to purchase a firearm.
So there is no age limit.
I don't think there's an age limit. Do you?
No, on the contrary. I think the older you get, that becomes more and more your only form of self-defense. Because let's face it, you're not going to be a 75-year-old woman thinking you're going to fight yourself out of a situation. You just don't. You'll be a victim, quicker than a young person would be. So to me, it becomes just more and more essential. Even my mom and all her friends, they all are getting weapons now, and they just know that they are on their own when it comes to the self-defense.
You know how embarrassing it would be if a guy jumped one of these ladies and got taken out?
I would love to see that video. I would love to see that. You just see this little granny come out and be like, boom, boom. All right, cool.
Next. Oh, I can't do this anymore.
Like, don't mess with this lady, man.
And I think that's the beauty of this program. You don't know.
No.
Not everybody's like Alicia. Looks like she's going to shoot you tomorrow. She's got all her gear on.
But you never know what can happen,
Yes,
right? And this
true.
is something that we not only teach, but we try to practice within the program, right? We'd rather you be prepared with, the tools to protect yourself than be in a situation where you need something and you don't have it.
Yeah, the only way you can be prepared is to train
and train some more. Right.
Absolutely.
Even as gun owners, we take classes all the time, right? Just to make sure we're training and keeping up with our skills, because if you don't shoot that often, those are skills that can perish and can go away, right? And so,
it's not right. It's not like riding a bicycle.
No.
Yeah.
It's not.
It takes constant training, and you have to keep staying fresh is, I guess, the easiest way to say it.
And you don't need a helmet.
You do.
Mike does because he's special.
I know. Wouldn't he look good in a helmet?
Yeah.
You probably want a pink one.
Like a Darth Vader.
No, the leather one. Like they used to wear.
Oh, the special one?
But hey, we have to beat up on him because he bailed on us for 2 weeks and didn't tell us.
Well, I did too tell you.
No, you didn't.
You and I are wrestling.
You didn't write it down on a piece of paper and gave it to this old man.
I didn't think you could read.
I know. Well, I do. I can read a little
So,
bit.
Sasha, we're going to let the boys stop talking for a second so we can get back to our girl chat.
What were we talking about?
I don't even know what you guys are talking about.
I don't know.
But you have been an amazing part of the program, and you've definitely helped a lot of women through it, and have always been with us. You do so many mentorships and so much training. Am I going to keep you around for a little bit? Are we still in this together?
Oh, for sure. This is kind of addicting for me because it feels like a little bit of a superpower, to be honest with you.
Now, tell me about that superpower that you feel. I love this. I've never heard it called that before.
Well, because the second person that I've helped at a shooting social that's most memorable to me was a young lady who actually had been present in the synagogue in Poway when it got shot up.
Mm.
Mm.
And if I could tell you the shaking that she was doing before just walking into the gun range part after you got your eyes and ears on. And her father and brother were in another, area close to us. And honestly, she really didn't think she would be able to shoot more than 1 or 2 bullets. And she was almost in tears too, frankly, a lot of the time. I mean, you can just imagine the PTSD, the emotions.
Terrible.
All of that.
Sasha, thank you very, very much for taking time out of your Sunday and giving us a call, because it's just so enlightening to have you on, and we appreciate it. And Desi, thanks for having her.
Thanks, Sasha.
My pleasure. It's my pleasure. You guys have a great Sunday.
You too.
Thanks for watching this clip from Gun Owners Radio. You can watch us live every Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. California time, right here on our YouTube channel, or if you're in the San Diego area, you can listen to us on 1170 a.m. We're also available on your favorite podcast platform for free. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can help restore and protect the Second Amendment, not just in California, but across the country.